Alrighty. Who's ready for a big call tonight? This is going to be a absolutely fabulous call, and I am so looking forward to bringing it to you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Melanie, and I am the head coach of Self Love for Permanent Weight Loss. I have lost over 30 kilos in the program myself, and I am passionate about leading other people to do exactly the same. If I can, you can. What's my golden rule for success, everybody? Those who know me know what my golden rule for success is. I want you to drop it in the chat for me. Can anyone remember what my golden rule is for success? Come on, I know you know it. I know you know it. I know I'm putting the hard ones out there straight away. Alrighty, I'm not seeing much action in the chat. Never something. I hear, aha, Andrew's been paying attention. Don't quit. Yeah, I like it. Never quit. I like it. I like it. We're really close. How about this one? Never give up. Never giving up. Yeah, the golden rule to success. Never giving up, giving up. Never ever give up, not giving up. That's the words I'm trying to get out tonight. Alrighty, I am going to dive into some absolutely incredible announcements. So we have got a whole lot to get through tonight. So get your pen and paper ready, and and get ready for all the good stuff because you're going to want to take it all down. So we have our High Value Women Retreat coming in on February 14th to 16th. And oh my gosh, I am so excited for it. We are going to the incredible Olinda at Mount Dandenong. It is going to be absolutely sensational. We've got pools and spas, and we're going to be doing meditation and yin yoga, and we're just going to be absolutely loving life, living to the high value woman. And I am so looking forward to it. If you have not heard about High Value Woman, then you need to be at the boot camp on the 29th of March to the 30th of March, kicking off at 9 a.m. on the 29th of March, and it will end on the 30th of March at 2 p.m. And I'm assuming 2 p.m. each day. It is an absolutely jam-packed weekend. If you are looking to change mindset, if you are looking to move into manifestation, if you are looking to level up to the next level, this is a boot camp you do not want to miss. And our high value women girls absolutely love the program and what they've been doing and what they've been achieving. We just hear goal after goal, win after win. So it is an incredible event to be at. We have a lot of fun along the way. So please mark that in your calendar. It is completely free to attend. So please mark that down in your calendar. We also have our Food Mastery class kicking off for our Ask clients on the 8th of February. Please highlight this day in your diary, the 8th of February between 9 and 12 p.m. when the beautiful Marlene will take us through Food Mastery. This is such an important class to be at. You learn so much about your food, your body type, the way nutrition affects our body, all of the things. Like, you'll just learn so much in that class. So please mark that down for yourselves. It is a really great opportunity to learn about how your body works with food and why we eat the way we do. We have a really exciting announcement. Marlene has put up 3 new awards, which each one of those awards you will get $100 gift voucher for if you are the recipient of, and a certificate. And the awards are for most progress. So this is in weight loss and measurements. Consistent progress for showing up to 90% of your calls in the group calls, for filling out your progress sheet every week and coming to all of your one-on-one calls, and completing your video library. All right. You will get a $100 voucher if you are the person who achieves that. If you achieve 4 of these awards, they are awarded every quarter. If you achieve 4 of these awards, you get to spend a weekend at Marlene's house. All right, with the beautiful Marlene, a whole weekend. Like, how valuable would that be? Apart from the fact that she's absolutely incredible as a person, like, imagine being able to pluck her brain for a whole weekend. She's incredible. All right. So
Sorry, Melanie, I arrived late. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm just really excited to hear what you have to do to get that.
yeah, that's all right, Ali. Let me help you out there. So we have 3 brand new awards, and they each get a $100 gift voucher for the person who wins that award. And the categories are most progress. This is about weight loss and measurements. Consistent progress. That's for showing up to 90% of the group calls, filling out your progress sheet every week, coming to the one-on-one calls, and completing your video library. All right. So those are the certificates that are up for grabs. If you get 4 of those, so if you do get a whole 4 of them, you will get a weekend with the beautiful Marlene. All right. So don't miss that one out. Don't miss that one out. Really, really, it's all about setting up your goals. And Marlene goes above and beyond to make that happen. We all do. So, you know, we hope that that gives you girls some incentive to really just turn up for yourself. You know, at the end of the day, that's who you're turning up for, right? Yeah. And I say this to all the girls, and if you haven't had a coaching session with me yet, please book in and make that happen. But I will tell you straight off the bat, the very first thing I'm going to say to you is, if you've made an investment in something, why don't you want to see a return? That's the very first thing I'm going to ask you. If you made an investment, you did it because you want to see a return. Okay. And so to get the return, it's a two-way street. We work together. Yeah. We get results by working together. We give you the guidance, the support, the tools, but it is 100% up to you to implement it. Yeah, we're all okay with that? That works for everybody? Fabulous. Absolutely. Awesome. A reminder, girls, now, and this is something I don't like to talk about too much, because I understand sometimes that, you know, we can all have situations where we need to cancel. This is particularly about one-on-one calls. Please note that if you do not give 24 hours notice of a one-on-one call cancellation, you will lose a call. When you're on the program, you get 6 calls, half an hour calls for foundation calls with me, 3 15-minute calls with Marlene. If you do not give 24 hours notice, you will lose that call. And if you have no calls left, you will have to pay for that. And that is at $90 for every 30 minutes. Okay. Because we put our time aside because we want to serve you beautiful ladies. But you can imagine that if we don't come to see you beautiful ladies, there's other people who we could be serving and helping in that time. So it's just a little general reminder. Please make sure, because a lot of cancellations have been coming through lately with less than 24 hours notice. And I don't want to have to write that letter and say, I'm sorry, I'm going to be charging you $90, or I'm going to have to take a call from you because you haven't given me that 24 hours. Each call is so important to your success, and we just want to see you win. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. I think that's all done and dusted. Okay. So today we are going to explore the incredible power of your mind and how understanding its different layers can help you change old beliefs, get you to have shifts in patterns, and create the life you desire. For many of us, the mind feels like a mystery, running our lives without us knowing how it works. Who would say that's pretty fair? That a lot of the time we're like, why the heck did I even do that? Like, what was that all about? Right? Yeah. Who's had that? I'd love to get a show of hands. I really like people to be as interactive as possible. Wonderful. Thank you so much for your participation. Yeah, I've definitely been there. I've definitely been there where and sometimes I just go into, like, I walk into a part of the house and I'm like, why am I even actually here? Like, that's how much my mind is not engaged at the time. Like, I don't even remember why I'm here. Now, we can put that down to old age, and I'd rather you don't, because I consider myself quite youthful. But, but apart from that factor, right? How many of us do that, right? And really what it is it's a sign that our mind is really just preoccupied. We're actually not thinking about what we're thinking about. Yeah, we're on autopilot. So together we're going to uncover how the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind function, why change feels challenging at times, and how you can begin to rewrite your thinking. By the end of this talk, you'll feel empowered to understand your thoughts, recognize old patterns, and take practical steps towards creating new beliefs step by step and with self-compassion. I want you to please write that down. Self-compassion. Okay? I shouldn't see anybody without a pen in their hand writing that down. Self-compassion. All right? Really, really, really important. I don't know how many of you beautiful, beautiful ladies and gents alike come and will say, you know, I didn't get a number moving on the scale this week, but you've done all this phenomenal work. All right? Okay? Please be kind to yourself. Yeah? They say Rome wasn't built in a day. It truly wasn't. Okay? So give yourself grace. You've been doing certain things for X amount of years. You're not going to be able to come into the program for 1 week and then just change that. It's not going to happen. All right? That is what's very different about this program to what the diet industry often promises. Right. And this is why we talk about self-love for permanent weight loss, because we deal with the root cause. We go with the real layers. We dig deep. Yeah. We do the work so that we can live and enjoy our bodies and our life to the fullest. Yeah. So a big part of that is self-compassion. It's so important. It's so important to be kind to yourself. So how our beautiful, amazing mind, and I want you to write that down. I have a beautiful mind. I have a beautiful mind. Yeah. Our mind can be thought of as a team with different players working together. Each part has its own role, but most of the time they run on autopilot. And here's how the 3 main parts function. The conscious mind. This is the part of your mind responsible for rational thinking, decision-making, and awareness. It's like the leader of the team, but it's only active a small part of the time. Okay? So you'll get to understand why this is. We then have our beautiful subconscious mind. And this is the assistant that runs everything in the background. Habits, emotions, and beliefs. It operates on patterns and repetition, running most of your daily thoughts and actions on autopilot. And then we have our unconscious mind. And this is the foundation of the mind. Please write that down. Our unconscious mind is the foundation of our mind. Why is this so important to understand foundation? When you think about the foundations of a home, what does it do? It keeps the structure to everything, doesn't it? Yeah, holds everything up. Okay, so here it refers to this as the foundation of the mind. So what do you think in the same sense that means? It's holding everything else up. It's the main guy. It's supporting everything else that is happening. Right? It holds deep instincts, primal programming. I want you to underline that. Primal programming. We're going to dive into that in a little bit of a minute. All right. Is often shaped in childhood. Please write that down. It's often shaped in childhood and plays a role in how we react to the world. Most of what we think, feel, and do is driven by our subconscious and unconscious mind, not our conscious decisions. All right. So your mind is super intelligent, and what it's designed to do is to keep you safe at all time. In its primal source, its main design is to keep you safe. All right, which means it's going to revert to survival mode. Now, we wouldn't think of the little kid bullying us and our response to that as a survival mode, but it most certainly is, all right? Because when we're bullied, we feel unsafe, all right? And so we do things like people pleasing, run away, whatever the case may be, right? Or accept it in order to survive the situation. This is really, 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 really important to understand, okay? Because what a lot of people do in that situation, go home to mum, Joe Bloggs decided to beat me up today at school. Mum cut you a nice piece of chocolate cake. Here you go, darling, it'll be okay. Let me take you to McDonald's. Everything's going to be fine. Let me buy you KFC tonight. It'll be okay. All right. And so the connection to feeling better is what? Food. All right. Food. And so we start to build then in our unconscious mind a support system that says when I feel upset or negative, I can have food and feel better. All right. And so in our unconscious mind, this is operating. And so every time in our daily life things go wrong, our primal instinct rises up and says, this was a survival pack for us last time. Let's use this again. And I liken this to like getting a pair of your 5-year-old underwear. Would any of you be able to put your 5-year-old, hand up if you can put your 5-year-old underwear on? I'm just going to check the chat. Anybody can? Stella, can you still fit your 5-year-old underwear? Stella, I don't know that that's true. All right. We might need to talk about that, Stella. No, we
I was
can't.
thinking of like this costume that I wore when I was 5. It
Yeah.
was the Batman costume that I wore every year. And the other day I tried it on and I was like, wait, it still low-key fits. I was like, how did I fit this as a kid? And I can fit it now. It's like kind of like underwear.
Okay. I'm thinking the underwear is going to be more challenging for you. I'm just going to put it out there. But that's awesome. That's pretty awesome though. I love it. But that's the real thing is that, and so the 5-year underwear worked really well when we were 5, right? But the thing is now as an adult, it's not going to fit anymore. And in the same sense, in our unconscious mind are these thoughts of how we survived a situation. And so now we think we can use that same 5-year-old method to serve us when we're in our 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s and wondering why it's not working well. All right. Let me just catch up here. Yep. So I've got a question for you guys, and I want you to take a bit of time to think about it. How often do you catch yourself doing or thinking of something automatically? And let's see if we were going to say a scale of 1 to 10, drop it a number for me in the chat. Try to be as honest as yourself. Thank you, Danny. 10, 3 to 10, 8 to 9, 6. Yep. Yep. So the number that you just dropped in the chat, I want you to go add a 0 to the end of that and make that your percentage. It's some pretty big numbers, isn't it? Pretty big numbers. Yep. Most of the time, I'm not thinking about what I'm thinking about. Yeah. And that's what you're consciously aware of. That's what you're consciously aware of. All right. This is telling us that there's a whole lot of other stuff that we don't even know we're thinking about. So that's a whole lot of stuff too, right? So how our mind believes and looks for evidence. Your mind is always listening to what you tell it, and it believes you. This happens because of a psychological phenomenon called confirmation bias, the tendency to seek evidence that supports what we already believe. Your brain is also wired for efficiency, which means it reinforces existing beliefs to save energy. We have a beautiful brain. It's pretty incredible. Yeah, goes to great lengths to serve us. Here's the tip though. We've got to be real careful what we put in it. Yeah, real careful what we put in it. So an example, if you wake up and think, I'm not good enough, your mind will filter out positive evidence and focus on things to prove you right. On the other hand, if you say, I'm learning and growing every day, your mind will seek evidence to support that. And I'm going to give you a quick rundown of this. Whoever's got up in the morning, stubbed their toe and gone, darn, I'm so sick of that. I'm so clumsy. You walk around the corner and walk into the wall. I'm over it. I'm so clumsy. You drop something when you get to the kitchen. That's because you're 100% right. You keep telling yourself you are so clumsy and you keep dropping things and you're so uncoordinated. So that's exactly what your body will support you to believe. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, hang on a minute. That gets a bit challenging, doesn't it, right? Who feels it? Who feels the challenge in that? Yeah. Your mind is always listening to what you tell it. Yeah. And Bridget, I've become aware of that and I don't tell myself that story. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. We're going to dive into a little bit of a reason. Why is it when we've practiced something for so long and we consistently don't tell ourselves a story, we still hear the story in our head? Yeah. Who's been there? Who's worked really, really hard on something, achieved it, and then lo and behold, 6 months later, it's there again. You're like, where the heck did that even come from? Like, I've already been through this. Why is this here again? We're going to dive into why that happens. All right. So what's one belief about yourself that you keep telling your mind? And how does it show up in your life? We're going to take a couple of minutes for that. So Deb, if you could please write that in the chat for me. What's one belief about yourself that you keep telling your mind? And how does it show up in your life? Yep. Yep. Thank you, Andrew, for sharing that. I know that was one I used to always repeat to myself. I was the big girl. Yep. That was my label for a long time. Yeah. Black sheep. I can't do this. Yep. Yep. The odd one out of the family. Yep. Yep. I always fail. Yep, not good enough. I used to say I was crazy all the time. Yep, I used to say I was crazy. I was a crazy girl. I used to laugh about it until I developed a mental health problem. It wasn't funny anymore. Yeah, wow. Ouch. Words are very powerful. I'm not saying mental health is solely caused by that, but I'm saying it's a reminder to be careful what we say because it won't help it. Yeah. All right. It won't help it. There are a lot of extenuating circumstances to mental health, and I'm not here saying that we can just change that in a day. But what I am saying is that words matter, and we reinforce things by saying that. Yeah. I'm all alone, no support. So now you've answered those questions for me. What's one belief about yourself? Thank you, Deb. You're telling yourself, and it keeps showing up in your life. So yeah, how does that show up in your life? All right, write some of those things for me in the chat. How does it show up in your life? I replace crazy with magical. I love that, Ali. That's beautiful. That's one way of making a change. That's great. We're going to dive into how we change things too as we go along. Yeah. Nervous system meltdown. Absolutely. I'm not losing weight. Yeah. Complacency. Yeah. Feeling like I do things alone without family. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm always comparing myself to others. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one I went through too, Bridget. Yeah. A lot of that feeling like not so much for me was it comparing to others, but I always felt like I never measured up to anybody. Yeah, that was a real issue for me. And thankfully now I love the fact I'm unique. It's so cool. So now we're going to do an exercise. And I want you guys to write down a limiting belief you've been holding on to. Now, this is going to require you guys to do, I want you to do a butt breath here. Everybody done their butt breath here? Everybody knows what the butt breath is? Hands up, who knows the butt breath? Knows the butt breath. Let me show you the butt breath if you don't know, for those who are new. It's where we have chest up and we take a breath through our nose and we take it so deeply down into our belly that we can just about feel it in our butt. Our chest will fully expand. And then we will let go through our nose and we'll drop our shoulders at the same time. Okay, so you ready? Take a big butt breath. As you do that, what's one belief about yourself that you keep telling your mind? A limiting belief that you have that you're holding on to. Menopause medication impact my weight. Yeah, this was one of my stories I liked to tell myself quite regularly, Ali. Yep. Okay, give me a thumbs up, guys, when you've done that. You've written down your limiting belief. I should do more exercise, but I always feel tired. Thank you, Danny, for that. Deb, yep, thank you, Deb, for writing that in the chat. Write down one limiting belief you keep telling yourself. Thumbs up if you've got that done. Perfect. Yep. Everybody ready to move along? Great. Excellent. Thank you for that. So now what I want you to do is list 3 reasons, okay, and use your butt breath again. Okay, use your butt breath again. And I want you to write 3 reasons why it may not be entirely true. Thank you, Andrew. Oh. Hi, Con. Sorry, I didn't realize it's because it says Andrew on the thing. How are you, darling? That's okay, no problem. Ali, because plenty of people take medication, plenty of people have menopause and they are not carrying weight. I am not sticking to plan, so it's not the plan, it's my choices or lack of the right choices. I like some of the insight there. We're going to do some framing around that, but I like some of the insight there. Thank you for your honesty there, Ali. So if you have a look at that, there might be some evidence that proves that what you're thinking may not actually be accurate. Yeah. So when you think about those 3 things and you see that there's evidence there to support that what you've been thinking is not true, What does that make you think about? Does it make you think about things like, if I thought this for so long, and when I actually stop and really think about this, the evidence doesn't support that thought, what else am I thinking about that the evidence doesn't support? What else am I thinking about that the evidence does not support? Yeah, a lot. Yeah, yeah. Really thinking about that. So let's dive into how each mind works. Who's liking this so far? Hands up if everyone's enjoying the call so far. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So understanding how the three parts of your mind work together can help you see where your thoughts and reactions come from. So your conscious mind, this is the decision maker where you're analysing and you plan and reflect. It's like the driver of a car, but it's only activated where you're focused. Please write that down. It's only active where you're focused. You would have heard an expression Marlene uses a lot. Energy flows where focus goes. Yeah? And when we think about that, we can understand that now because we see that our mind actually looks for evidence for what we're focusing our attention on, what we're telling it is. It's looking for ways to support that. So if we say, I'm the fat girl, I never lose weight, I'm bigger than everybody else, what do we think is going to happen? Let's write some of that in the chat. What do we think is actually going to happen if we do that? Now that we understand that our mind is actually looking for ways to support us in what we're telling it is. Where focus goes, energy flows. Yeah. What are some of the things your body's going to start looking for? You'll start seeing things to support it. Absolutely. You'll receive what you think. Absolutely. Yeah. Starts to make things a little bit different, doesn't it? When we start to understand that our language really, really matters. Who, when they first came on the program, thought that if I just talk differently, that could help me in my weight loss journey? No? Everybody thought it was calories in, calories out. Who thought that? Who thought it was calories in, calories out? I just watch what I eat. Yeah. Who thought if I just exercise 14 hours a day, I'll be right? Yeah. And then wonder why the scales don't move or why we keep going back and forth, back and forth. Yeah. Because where our mind goes and puts focus on, energy flows and we grow it. Yeah. So this is the car's engine running on habits and memories. It's where repeated thoughts and behaviors are stored. Please write that down. The unconscious mind is where repeated thoughts and behaviors are stored. Repeated thoughts. How many of us have told ourselves one time, you're not enough, you're ugly, you're fat, you're not worthy, you can't get anywhere, you're the odd one out? How many times, how many of us have told us that same story twice? Or 3 times? Or 4? Or 5? Yeah, we get the picture. And yet we say, but I want to lose weight now, so everything should be great, right? But we've programmed our brain with what information? So it needs to do a defrag. Yeah? We need to get rid of some of the old files, create some new ones. Yeah? Good news, we can do exactly that. So let's jump into the unconscious mind or the subconscious mind. This is the underlying programming, your beliefs about safety, love, and self-worth. Your beliefs are in your subconscious mind, Okay. It's deeply rooted and often it operates without your awareness. Imagine your mind as an iceberg. The conscious mind is the small tip above the water, while the subconscious and unconscious make up the massive hidden part below. All right. Sorry, that was the unconscious mind we just covered, which would be, yeah, I think that's still a term for subconscious. Okay, so what's one habit or reaction you have that feels like it's running on autopilot? You want to drop that in the chat for me, guys? What's one habit or reaction you have that feels like it's running on autopilot? Learning about our mind like that. Yeah, procrastinate. Feeling like I always have to overachieve. Yeah. Sit down to watch TV and eat snacks. Yeah. Okay, I need to put others first. Always having to be in my masculine. Yeah, that's a big one. Really important to balance our yin and yang. Very, very important to balance male and female energy. Yeah. So now what I want you to think about is how would you change that belief? People pleasing, perfection pops up. Yep. So how would you change that belief? Some ideas in the chat. Maybe you could time out, meditation, breath work, love it. Practicing mindfulness. I don't need a screen in front of me. Yep, absolutely. Could be some things you could do to help you change that belief. So an example could be, I always give up, to I never give up, or I'm constantly improving. Recognize I'm just as important as others by taking time doing meditation. Absolutely. Surrender and meditate. Yeah, big one. Reframing. Yes. Does everyone know what reframing means? Putting it a different way. Taking the same idea that you're thinking about, but putting it in a different way to give a different message. Yeah. Who would agree that pretty much in all situations there's a positive or negative in pretty much most situations, right? Apart from catastrophic ones, there's pretty much a positive or a negative way to look at it. Even in, let's look at a very common one, a relationship breaks down, all right? There's a lot of hurt involved in that and it looks like a negative situation. But I want you to tell me, what are some of the positives that could come from a relationship breakdown? Meet someone new. Yep. Growth. Yep. Yep. New start. Independence. Yep. Empowerment. Yep. Figure out what you don't want in a partner. Growth. Excellent. Excellent. Learn from lessons. So I can pretty much be assured most of you have gone through heartache at some stage, right? But there was a positive out of that. right? There was a positive out of that. Now, I want you to take the same situation now and think about your relationship with food. Is it positive and healthy? Do you eat food to nourish your body, to enjoy it, to spend time with family, taking time to take it into account of its textures, taste, flavors, and actually give yourself permission to sit and enjoy? I know as a mum of 3 autistic kids, for many years, all I did was shovel food down real quick. I'd eat a meal in 5 minutes, 5 minutes flat, because I didn't have time to sit down. And I did that for so many years that even now I have to actually choose to consciously sit down and say, no, stop and enjoy the flavors, the textures of the food. I've discovered I like seafood. I didn't like it for years. Probably took too long to eat. You know? Like, when you think about that, right, so much has changed. A lot of it has changed too, because I now eat like intuitively and I eat the way my body needs it. But that too is a learning curve. Right? My relationship with food now is very healthy. I choose foods consciously that bring me energy. Right? But it wasn't always like that. But I reframed that. Right? I took that negative and I made it into something more positive. So where old thoughts come from, our beliefs and thoughts often stem from childhood experiences. This is really, really important to understand. Whenever we get into one-on-one sessions, most of you have one-on-one sessions with me, I will say, take a breath and go deeper. Yeah? Who's heard me say that? Who's ever been in a call with me and heard me say, take a breath and go deeper? Yep. Hands up. Yep. Yep. Pretty much everyone, right? Yeah. And there is a reason that I do that. All right. And the reason that I do that is because of that fundamental truth. When we're children between the ages of 0 and 7, we are formulating our personalities, and we learn that predominantly from those around us. All right. And our environment, external factors. All right. We come fundamentally with our basic emotions of joy, happiness, and, you know, even experiences of anger and fear. All of those things are part of our human experience, okay? But we learn the stories related to those from the external circumstances we are around, right? Mum didn't like it when I said, no, I didn't want to do that. I need to feel a sense of safety, so I do what mum says, even though authentically it doesn't feel good to me. Authentically, it doesn't feel good to me. How many of us got told, eat every last mouthful of food on your plate? Yeah. Yeah, you were full and you didn't want any more food. Maybe you didn't enjoy the textures of that food or the flavors, but you will eat it because it's on your plate, and you will not leave the table until you do. Yeah. External influences that become a part of our unconscious mind. Autopilot. Yeah. What we were told, what we repeatedly experienced, these beliefs get embedded into our subconscious, even if they're not true. For example, if a parent or teacher told you you're not good at math, you may have carried that belief into adulthood. Right? That was very much me. I was told that I would probably never amount to much. Academically, I wasn't very smart. You know, I couldn't remember all of the things that I had to do, and I couldn't do them the way I was instructed to do them. And so I was either considered to be rebellious or stupid. Yeah. I went on to become the best of every field I worked in my job. like in my major jobs with disability, and then coming into coaching, everything like that. All of those things I excelled in everything I did. I wasn't stupid. Who would have thought at 50 years old I'd be at 50 years old and heavily overweight, and would become the head coach of a wellness company? No. I guarantee you 12 months ago, those who knew me were laughing in my face saying, you're dreaming. You're never going to get anywhere. But here I am today with you beautiful ladies, over 30 kilos down. Yeah. Because at some point, I made a decision that I wasn't going to listen to the external voices anymore. I made a conscious choice that I was enough, just as I am. And that is the real gold in all of this, is understanding that at any moment you are enough. You are enough. And that is something we need to tell ourselves every day, because a lot of these habits and other beliefs we have stem from that same story in everyone's head. Yeah. And look, it's not that our parents are bad parents or horrible parents. Some parents might be more desirable than others, but it's not that they're bad, horrible parents. We have to give them grace too. They're doing the best they can in the situation they had at the time with the knowledge they had. That was all they knew. Yeah. But the thing we have to challenge ourselves with is that still factual? Or was it even ever factual? Is it actually accurate? Is that my belief or an echo of a voice that told me I should believe this? Yeah. So why challenging beliefs is challenging? Changing beliefs feels difficult because your brain is wired to resist change. And write that one down. Your brain is wired to resist change. There's a reason for this. It seeks safety in familiar, also write that down, familiar patterns. Okay. Old thoughts are like well-worn paths in a forest. Creating new ones requires intentional effort and repetition. Please write that down. Intentional effort and repetition. I know I get you girls, I repeat things a lot to write it down, but it's just so that everybody hears it, and because they're very important things for you to take away. Okay. Because when we're understanding, it's not now on this call when you're hearing all this information, you're going to go, yeah, Mel, I get it. But when you get off the call and you get up tomorrow morning and you've got to make a decision and a billion things are going on, that's when you need this information. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by not planning is planning to fail. Absolutely every time. Not planning is planning to fail. And that's why it's always best to have in your notes the things where you know you have the most challenges. Have some solutions to those with you all the time, because people always, no worries, Stella, that's fine. See you next time. So write it down. Write it down in your notes. What are the things that are the most challenging for you and the tools you're going to use to help you through that? Because when you're in the moment, you won't necessarily think of it because of the wiring of your brain. And this takes us to why we revert to old thoughts. Stress and emotional triggers often send us back to old thought patterns because they're deeply ingrained in our subconscious. This isn't failure. It's your brain's way of seeking comfort and safety. That is one or two of the 6 human needs. Okay? You won't be able to just shut that off because you're wired like that. You were created with those things in you. But we can reframe them. All right? Please don't beat yourself up when you make a mistake or fall off the wagon, as we all do. This is normal. It's not important that we fell. as much as it is important what we do next. Please write that down. It is not important that I fail. It is important what I do next. And I'm going to ask you again, I have one rule, one golden rule to success. What's the golden rule? I told you at the beginning. What's the golden rule? Never give up. Yeah. Never give up. Never giving up. Yeah. Never give up. Never giving up. The golden rule to success. Creating new beliefs. New beliefs require practice, repetition, and emotional engagement. Hello. Hello. Did we get that? New beliefs require practice, repetition. Yep, that's cool. Hang on. And emotional engagement. Emotional engagement. The key is to start with small, believable steps. Instead of jumping to I am successful, you might start with I am learning to create success. This builds trust in yourself. Remember we talked about that? Trusting yourself. We touched base on this importance of building trust to set yourself up for a goal that you cannot fail. This is so important to build up trust with yourself. Be honest with yourself. What's your willingness to commit between 1 to 10? 10 being you're all in 100%. Think of something you have been challenged with but really want to change. I want you to really think about that one, all right? So that's the question. Think of something you have been challenged with but you'd really like to change. You don't have to write it in the chat, just write it down for yourself. All right, and when you have, give me a thumbs up. Yep. Now take a big butt breath again. And I want you to drop in the comments a 1 to 10 of your willingness to commit to working on that and changing that this week. I want you to be really honest about it. We got a 10 from Con. Thank you for that. We got a 7 from Ali. We got an 8 from Bridget, a 7 from Katrina, an 8, 6 from AJ, Debbie. Great. Ladies, I'm going to ask you to take another breath and I'm going to ask you to go deeper. And I'm going to ask you the same question again with the same belief. I want you to take another breath in and ask yourself, between 1 and 10, how willing am I to work on changing this? How committed am I to changing this? How committed am I to changing this? Yep. Ellie's definitely in. Tracy's definitely in. Katrina's in. Danny's in. Yep. Great. Excellent. All 8s and 9s. Put a 0 and a percentage on that. 90%. 10 is 100% in. That means 100% I should be able to have a chat with you about what that goal is. You should be able to be fully accountable and 100% committed to reaching that goal. No problem at all. 90%, you should be doing that goal at least 6 days a week. 7, we should be doing it at least 4 days a week. 6, we should be doing it about, just over half a week. 4, we might do it 3, 4 days a week. Of what our commitment is. Really, really, really important to be aware of what your commitment is. And if you're saying you're 100% in, but then you don't turn up for 100% of yourself, don't beat yourself up about it, but be honest with yourself. All right? Be honest with yourself, because learning to trust yourself is to be honest with yourself and say, actually, when I really check in, yeah, chances are I'm going to turn up about 80%. Well, maybe I'll turn up 70. All right. And the reason for that is because if you can set yourself up at 70%, even though you think you're capable of 90, and you achieve 70%, you've just built trust with yourself. But if you say, I'm going to do 90% and you only turn up for 70, you prove to yourself you can't be trusted again. And this is why it's so important to be really honest. So I'm going to ask you ladies again, take another breath and please write in the chat, are you 100% in at a 10? Or maybe you're only at 1, not ready to start at all, and that's okay. Excellent. AJ knows she's onto it. Okay. Drop it in the chat for me one more time, ladies. Tracy, 7. Deb, 9. Got an 8 for Danny. Got a 9, 9, 8. All right, ladies. I'm going to be checking in with you what that goal's all about this week. We're going to check in on that. Bridget's at a 7. Well, you might get let off a little bit, Bridget. The others aren't looking too good here. Accountability. Accountability. I will be checking in with you, ladies. Yeah? All right. But I love that. I love that. That's fantastic. And that's fantastic for you. If you really believe that for yourself, I am all in for you, because I know you're all capable of a 10. All right. I know you're all capable of a 10 without a shadow. And there's no doubt in my mind that you're capable of a 10, 20, 30, or 40. All right. But it's not me you have to convince. It's you. Yeah. Why change takes time. All righty. Who's got our listening ears on for this little bit here? Lasting change takes time because the brain needs consistent practice to rewire itself. On average, it takes about 66 days to form a new habit. So theoretically, 21 days to be able to make a change in the way you're thinking, and 66 days before we will establish that. That's one thought. One thought, one belief. That's to establish it, not master it. 66 days. All right. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. Every small step matters. You cannot expect instant change. Our brain, just like anything, takes time to change and adjust to a new belief. Even if we do not have a new belief, we can go back to the familiar. Even after we do have a new belief, we can go back to the familiar, back to autopilot, especially in times of stress. And I really want you to guys to write this down. All right. Stress is a major red flag. Okay. Stress is a red flag. This is why we work so hard to deal with that first, because when we are stressed, we go straight to autopilot. We go straight to not thinking at all. We just do, because we go into survival mode. We kick off survival instincts, and that's what we go back to. All right. And even when you've worked really hard and you've gotten so far, and then you're like, all of a sudden I'm back here again. How did that happen? That's how that happened. Yeah. Something has come up and kicked off survival mode. And that was why you've gone back to that belief pattern again. The brain is wired primarily to keep you safe and survive. So food was a way you did that. You can see why your brain says you need food. Yeah. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it happens with consistent effort and self-compassion. The conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind each play a role in shaping your beliefs. And by understanding them, you can begin to rewrite old patterns and create new possibilities. So I've got a little affirmation I want to give everybody here tonight. I am capable of change. I trust my mind to support me as I create new beliefs. Transformation is a journey and I am on the right path. Please pick one of those three that really resonates with you. And then I'm going to take you girls through a meditation. And I want you to really picture what that belief looks like for you. Yeah. I trust my mind to support me as I create new beliefs. I am capable of change. Transformation is a journey and I'm on the right path.
Hey,
No
Mel.
worries, Danny. Glad you enjoyed it.
Sorry, Mel. What was the one about I trust my mind to support me?
And as I trust my mind to support me as I create new beliefs.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody got those three down? Trust my mind to support me as I create new beliefs. Yep, I am capable of change. And transformation is a journey and I am on the right path. Excellent. So what I would like to do now is invite everybody to sit back in their seats. Please have cameras on if possible at this time. I'd like you to sit back with your chest up and open and give yourself permission to become fully present. Take a moment to stop what you're doing right now, phones off, computers off, and give yourself a moment to become fully present. Tonight, we're just going to use our natural flow of breathing. Begin to notice your body softening into your chair, your feet connected to the floor. Gently close your eyes and begin to draw your attention to your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And bring your attention to the inside. Breathing in, breathing out. As your mind begins to wander, and it will, gently bring it back to the breath. Breathing in, breathing out, slowing your breath down. Breathing in, breathing out. Like a wave gently rolling in, gently rolling out. Think of some of the things that you've been challenged by in your beliefs. Try not to judge them, but rather notice them with curiosity. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Imagine yourself gently taking one of those stories. Breathing in, breathing out, and looking at it with curiosity, just noticing it. Breathing in and breathing out. You might like to say, I am capable of change. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And maybe you want to pick up a different story. Place that one back down. Let it gently flow down the river. You might want to pick another one up and look at it with curiosity. Just noticing it. You might like to say, I trust my mind to support me as I create new beliefs. Gently put the story in the river and watch it float down. Breathing in through your nose and back out. You might like to pick up a different story and notice it with curiosity. Try not to make the space wrong, right, but just be curious. You might like to say, transformation is a journey and I'm on the right path. Pop that into the river and let it gently float away. The story flow down the river. Breathing in, breathing out. I am capable of change. I trust my mind to support me as I create new beliefs. Transformation is a journey and I'm on the right path. Breathing in and breathing out. A gentle wave rolling in, rolling out. I am capable of change. I trust my mind to support me as I create new beliefs. Transformation is a journey and I'm on the right path. I am capable of change. I trust my mind to support me as I create new beliefs. Transformation is a journey, and I'm on the right path. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Well done. Take a breath down to your belly, up to your chest. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. When you're ready, open your eyes. I would love to hear what you beautiful ladies thought of the session tonight. If you found value in it, what was one takeaway for you tonight? I'm going to just go around the room like I normally do. Deb, I'd love to hear from you first.
Sorry. I felt very sleepy then. I was just seeing all my concerns floating away, just riding the river. I've pretty much come off the back end of a hellish sort of a holiday. I got bullied and attacked by words, and all sorts of stuff was going on, and it really like beat me down to a pulp. And I realized I brought a little back from the holiday, a bit of that energy with me, and feeling very low on myself and starting to beat myself up a little bit, like I'm not good enough, and those words were floating around a bit. And I realized they weren't my words. I'd actually taken them on energetically, unbeknown to myself. So I just saw then, as we did that breath work practice, I'm letting go of them, I'm releasing them, and they're floating down the river. And I do feel like lighter and relieved. So
Excellent. Excellent. That's fantastic. Thank you, Deb. Appreciate that.
thank
That's
you.
awesome. Ali, what was your biggest takeaway from tonight?
My biggest takeaway from tonight was what was my biggest takeaway? Just self-compassion when I don't fulfill. I'm getting better at that. Like most of the room, being an achiever, this is probably the only part of my life that is not where I'm not ticking the boxes. Everything else I'm ticking boxes except for this one. So self-compassion.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. I love that. I love that. So let's reframe that to I'm ticking boxes every day. Yeah. I love that. I love that. Con, can I hear from you?
Hello.
Hello. Hello. What was your biggest takeaway from tonight?
That I can change.
Yeah.
Just that everything is habits. Like everything is habits, and that I can't change them. I've been believing that I can, but I couldn't. I was trying to believe that I could change them, but really didn't do anything for changing them. So now just I'm more certain that I'm gonna change.
Excellent. Excellent. That's exciting. Thank you for sharing, Con. That's excellent.
Thank you.
Katrina, you're up next. Don't worry, AJ, I got your number there. Katrina, you're up next. Beautiful lady.
I just like that last affirmation, the transformation is a journey and I'm on the right path. And for me, that just rang so true, because it's not, for me, it's not just about weight journey. I'm also on a self-healing, inner healing, emotional healing, spiritual healing, everything journey. And I'm seeing that taking place. And I only just said to someone the other day that I'm on a journey, and I can see that this is not going to be a short journey. I am changing. I can see physical changes in my body. And although my weight has more or less stayed, sorry, just had to keep the dog out. So I've seen changes take my body changing shape. I've seen my weight stayed the same. I'm not stressed about that. I'm not worried about that. I know it's going to happen, but I have seen a lot of healing within myself. And I'm going deeper than I'm at a point where I'm now going deeper than where I started. So I'm seeing progress. And
That's
so that
excellent.
transformation is a journey, and I'm on the right path. So I know I'm on the right path. But being on the right path, I know I'll get there. So yeah.
Excellent. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Katrina. And it's so true. That's so true. And I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Tracy, haha, I bet you thought you could get away with it. Not lately.
When we had to write down what our bad belief was, and then write down 3 reasons why we thought it wasn't true. Anyway, mine was that I've tried everything and nothing works for me in regards to weight loss. And well, I haven't tried everything, and I probably never put 100% commitment in, and I had no faith in myself.
Yeah. And so how are you going to reframe that?
Definitely get faith in myself and put 100% in. And I haven't tried everything, so this is my next step.
Excellent. Love it. Love it, Tracy. Love it. Thank you so much for sharing. AJ.
I think biggest takeaway was probably to practice more mindfulness, especially when it comes to like limiting beliefs, to spend more time in mindfulness every time a limiting belief pops up. Because I think I should challenge those limiting beliefs a lot more. I really liked the exercise of giving yourself 3 reasons why that limiting belief isn't true.
Yeah.
So I think that would be really helpful for me, because, you know, to a certain degree, I believe like, oh, you know, I've got mindfulness down pat because I meditate a lot. But, you know, when I sat through this call, I'm like, oh, there's actually still lots of limiting beliefs that I have. And I really liked that exercise of the 3 reasons, because I reckon that'll be so helpful next time I have a limiting belief, so I can just sit and just list 3 reasons why that's not true. And I think that will massively reframe the way that I think.
Awesome. Love that. Thank you so much, AJ. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Now, that was one of the first things that I learned, was when I learned about the 3 minds, I began to really understand why I felt like, I was sort of stuck in a cycle of thinking, because, well, I was. And so once I started to understand that then I gave myself permission to be okay where I was. And then I started from where I was reasonably. And I went, okay, I might want to hit this, and this, but what's reasonable for me that I think I can achieve right now, and start to build that trust up in myself again, and start creating a new belief, a real belief around what I actually want to believe, be, and become as a person, rather than what I framed in my mind was expected of me, or I needed to be to get through a certain situation at the time. Yeah. So thank you so much, ladies. We are finishing about 10 minutes early. Is everybody okay with that? Everybody happy to go off the call about 10 minutes early? Beautiful. No worries. All right. Well, loads of love to you, lovely ladies. Thank you so much for tonight, and I will see you on the other side.